it's Lori Brown, nurse attorney from Ask a Nurse Attorney and allnurses.com. Today I want to talk to you about RaDonda Vaught. So just recently, actually on September 27th of this year, the Board of Nursing reversed its decision to not file charges against RaDonda Vaught and filed charges. And there are three violations. The first is unprofessional conduct. The second is failing to maintain proper records. And the third is abandoning or neglect patient requiring nursing care. I guess basically 2 counts. So let's talk a little bit about nursing board matters. But before I do, I just want to say I think that nursing board matter, and if the family wants to file a medical malpractice matter, that is the proper venue for the matter against RaDonda to take place, not the criminal. I know that reckless conduct and involuntary manslaughter can occur, like if you're drunk driving, but she was just doing her job. Yes, she did it wrong, no question about it. She committed malpractice. She violated the Nurse Practice Act. But does it arise to the level of criminal matter? I don't think so. But that's for the courts to decide. Anyways, I just want to tell you about what this all means as far as the board matter is concerned and educate you a little bit on how this process works. So basically, anybody can file a complaint against you. Anybody. A disgruntled patient, your employer, a coworker, anybody. We've had ex-husbands file complaints. And once a complaint is filed, the state has an obligation to investigate that matter. And usually they'll send you a letter, or they'll call you, and they'll give you a certain number of days to respond, or they'll ask you to come in for an interview. Some states have the Attorney General's office doing the investigation. Some states have the board actually has investigations through the board. So it just depends on what state you're in as who brings the charges. But once they investigate the case, they're going to make a decision of either A, should charges be filed, or should the file be closed. So, of course, I'm biased as an attorney that nurses, they tend to overshare. And this is a legal proceeding. And even if it's just a complaint against you and in the investigation stage, this could lead to action against your license. So you definitely want to have an attorney to help you and help you present your case in the light most favorable to you. And then definitely if charges are filed against you, in fact, when they send you a hearing notice, it specifically will say on there, you have a right to hire an attorney at your own cost. So at that point, definitely hire an attorney. There are some insurance that cover it, like NSO insurance. You never know who's going to file a complaint against you, and you might as well get help for defending yourself. So NSO insurance has disciplinary defense. That's one that I know of. I'm not sure about the others. And just in full disclosure, I do represent clients with NSO insurance from time to time. So anyways, once they decide to file a complaint, then in some states, they'll give you the investigation file. Some states, they won't. But you get to see what's going on and know what's going on and know what the basis of the allegations are. And then sometimes you can go to a pre-hearing settlement conference, or sometimes the attorneys can talk and work on coming up with a settlement. Once there's a settlement, the board can do one of 4 things. They can give you a reprimand, which is like a slap on the wrist, don't do it again. They can put your license on probation if they just want to watch you. It's called an encumbered license. They can suspend your license, and they can also revoke your license. And one thing, too, is if they believe that you're a clear and immediate danger to the public, they can emergency suspend your license for up to 90 days. So those are all the things that the board can do. In addition, they can do fines and continuing education. Whoever, the Attorney General's office or the board attorney, will pick whatever they believe is the discipline that's proper in this situation. So what I've noticed is that the states are all across the board in terms of what they do for the same exact situation. So I would love to see some consistency with it. It would be wonderful to know what you're up against. And then when you do have a board member, the one thing that I do is we look for mitigating factors that will reduce what the sanction should be, such as, was this a one-time only situation? This is the only time you made a meta error or whatever it was. Has time passed since? Have you worked since then? And are you doing great now? The board's really big on honesty. So were you honest and upfront with your employer about what happened at the last place you worked? Some boards like to see continuing education. They want to know that you are remedying the situation that got you into this. So there's lots of things that you can do to mitigate or decrease the sanctions against you, and that's another thing that an attorney can help you with. So in RaDonda's situation, this is it's going to be very interesting what the board decides to do. Like I said, initially they didn't do something. Most boards don't care if there's harm or not. Obviously, in this case, there was the worst kind of harm. So I'll be curious to see what's going to happen. I just know our identity is so tied with our profession that when there's a matter against our license and somebody is questioning our ability to do our job, it takes a huge emotional toll. Now, I'm sure RaDonda is never going to be the same anyways, and she's going to think about this woman the rest of her life. I mean, how could you not? I mean, it's a horrible situation. But in terms of the board matter, it was so stressful, and so it really just takes a piece of you. It's very difficult to go through that. And then it's on your license forever. It is permanent record. You can't get it expunged. People can see it. It's public record. You might have trouble getting a future job. It has terrible ramifications. In fact, if there's a settlement, it gets reported to the National Practitioner Data Bank. You could also be reported to the Office of the Inspector General and not be allowed to take Medicare and Medicaid patients for the next 5 years. So there's lots and lots of aftermath when there's a board matter as well. So I just want to hop in and tell you about how all of this works. And I don't know what will happen with RaDonda. I'm curious myself and would love to hear in your comments below what you think about all this. How do you protect yourself from having a board matter? Okay, bye everyone.